For ACUsports.com, I'm Chris Macaluso, joined this afternoon by head women's basketball coach Julie Goodenough. And, Coach, for you and the Wildcats last week is a little bit of a mixed bag. Have a huge offensive showcase last Wednesday against McNeese, scoring 109 points against the Cowgirls. You then go back on the road to Hammond, Louisiana, and the Southeastern Louisiana Lady Lions beat you by 3 points. We talked at length last week about the big win at McNeese. What were some of your final takeaways from that tight loss at Hammond?
Well, we were kind of an offensive machine on Wednesday night here against McNeese, and I felt like we played pretty well offensively at Southeastern as well. But on Wednesday, our defense was just so alert, so aggressive. We forced a lot of turnovers, did a really nice job defensive rebounding that turned into tons of extra possessions for us, and we just didn't have that juice about us on the defensive end. It just seemed like we were not as aware as we needed to be, and Southeastern definitely capitalized on that.
Final score down there was 74-71, but at one point in the game, you all were down 13 points, but you came back out of that deficit and ended up having a 3 or 4 point lead down the stretch. You just couldn't hang on to it. But let's go back to that comeback in the last couple of years with this team. There have been plenty of times where you guys have been down by 10 points or more and have come back.
Well, we have a pretty experienced team, and when you're on the road, you've got to expect it to be difficult. You have to expect the home team to shoot the ball really well. We, once again, had post players in foul trouble. That seems to be our Achilles heel a little bit when we travel. We've got to figure out how to keep everybody eligible and not get in foul trouble. So it was during that time period. We weren't hitting shots and had some different lineups on the floor. But credit our players for just staying in the game, playing with some poise. They made some big plays. We got some defensive stops and hit some crucial baskets for us just to be within a couple of points at halftime. So that was a big turning point for us in the game.
You talked earlier today about looking at tape with your team, realizing where the defensive breakdowns took place. Southeastern hit a bunch of threes against you on Saturday, and I'm sure the perimeter shot is something that you all want to prevent moving forward, and especially Wednesday night's game at Houston Baptist.
Definitely. I mean, every game, a point of emphasis is not to let people get uncontested threes. And, again, we just weren't as aware on defense as we needed to be. But every team that we play against will have a couple of really good three-point shooters, but anybody can make a wide-open three. I mean, at this level, everybody's working on their three-point game, and so it's definitely always a point of emphasis and will continue to be, especially as we go on the road for 2 more games and play against people in their own gyms. You have to know that they're going to shoot the ball really well. So just your defensive intensity, awareness, and just playing good team defense have to be staples for you if you really want to have a successful season.
All right, Coach. Well, historically, your team has done very well against the Huskies. You only have a day or 2 more to prepare for them, and we wish you and your squad all the best of luck. Again, Julie Goodenough and the Wildcats will be in Houston this Wednesday night to battle the Huskies at Sharp Gymnasium. For Coach Goodenough, I'm Chris Macaluso, ACUsports.com.